Hello, everybody. Welcome to Q&A with pharmacist Ben Fuchs, myself. I am Rebecca Dukes-Kozak, and I am so excited to have so many people on with us already and lots of new faces, new names. Hello and welcome to Q&A with pharmacist Ben. My co-hosts today are Lance Lamons, John T. McCollier, Heather Bowen, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, and Dr. Judy Reynolds. And we are here to help you get the information that you need in order to create a healthier health journey. So I love, and if any of you have heard Pharmacist Ben before, he tells it like it is, but he makes it so simple and uncomplicated to understand. So that's one thing that I really appreciate about pharmacist Benjamin Knight Fuchs. Another thing.
Some more things you appreciate about me.
You want some more things?
Yeah.
One, you're available and come on these shows and share your knowledge and information with us.
Yeah, is that all? So, up with some more things.
And something else. So I always get compliments, and I've had so many people ask me, when's the next Q&A with Pharmacist Ben? When's the next Q&A? Rebecca, we're already in the third week. Seriously, we're already in the third week of the month.
All right,
that's enough Q&A.
That's enough good things. Your job is done. That's enough good things about me.
Well, it's my honor to be able to bring to you Pharmacist Ben Fuchs. And I do want to remind everybody that the content of this show is not to replace, diagnose, or cure, replace your primary care physician, diagnose, or cure any type of diseases. But the way that Pharmacist Ben throws it out there with his experience, with his knowledge, with his training, he brings this whole circle of health together in a way that gives us more empowerment in being able to take control of our own health journey. So listen, pay attention, take notes, and we will be having some Q&A at the end of the call. So if you have any questions, make sure you raise your hand, please. If you don't know how to raise your hand, I'm going to tell you how to right now. This is for those who are on with us live. In your Zoom menu, at the bottom or at the top, wherever that menu is, you're going to click on reactions. There is a place to raise your hand under reactions. If you click on participants, there's a place that you can raise your hand for participants. But most importantly, you want to make sure that you have that chat on, because there's going to be information that's shared in that chat that you'll be able to follow along with and get helpful information that each of our co-hosts are putting in that chat that's going to help you find what you need in order to have this wonderful health journey. Because what was yesterday is not what has to be tomorrow, right? Am I not right, Ben?
You're absolutely right. That's awesome. I couldn't have said it better myself. And the gift of the human body is, the great gift of the human body is, you heal between cigarettes. You heal between toxic foods. You heal as soon as you stop putting the bad stuff in and the good stuff. As soon as you stop putting the bad stuff in and start putting the good stuff in, you start to heal right away. That is a great gift of that is the great gift of the human body. Hey, Rebecca, what was that you said? Nothing was meant to diagnose. What was the rest of it?
Diagnose, prevent, or cure.
You diagnose, prevent, cure. I want to talk about that because that kind of, I know you have to say that for legal reasons and blah, blah, blah. And that's really rude. Okay. Let me tell you why. Because you see, your diagnosis doesn't matter. And there are no cures. And treatment is your right. Your right to do is to treat yourself. Nobody owns treatments. Let me explain those three elements. First of all, a diagnosis is just a description of what's happening in your body. We make it into a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a noun. It's a verb. It's a process. And all it is, your diagnosis, all it is a description of that process. So for example, multiple sclerosis, right? Oh my God, multiple sclerosis, horrible disease. I can't tell you you have multiple sclerosis. I don't need to tell you you have multiple sclerosis because you see, multiple sclerosis is the brand name for hardening of the nerve, hardening of the body in multiple places. Your body hardens in multiple places as part of the disease process. It's generic, by the way. Almost all diseases, including aging, have an element of hardening, have an element of sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is an official brand name of hardening of the body. It's like Kleenex and tissues. Tissues are what you wipe your nose with, the piece of paper, the fabric that everybody knows about. Kleenex is the brand name. They own the brand name Kleenex. I can call my papers tissues. I can't call them Kleenex. It's a brand name. So that's the relationship between what's really happening in your body and your diagnosis, which is why I say your diagnosis doesn't matter. Your diagnosis is just a brand name. So I'm not allowed to use the brand names because they trademark those. The medical model owns those. And if I were to use those brand names, I could go to jail, especially as a healthcare professional, because they own the brand name. But you don't need the brand name to take care of the biochemical problem that's being described by the term multiple sclerosis or whatever disease you want. Fibromyalgia, muscle pain. You have pain in your muscles, muscle fibers. Fibromyalgia is the brand name. I can't say fibromyalgia, but I can say you have muscle pain, or you can say you have muscle pain, or anybody can say you have muscle pain. But it doesn't really matter because that's just a description of what's happening in the body. So don't be fooled by the Latin name of your diagnosis. It's just there to obfuscate and make you confused and make you just give up your health authority to some kind of priest, medical priest. Your diagnosis is just a description of what's happening in your body. You can't use the term because it's owned by the medical model. You don't need to know those terms because the way the body breaks down is generic. And it doesn't matter the specifics. It matters just what's happening. So multiple sclerosis is a hardening of the body, a hardening in various parts of the body. Why? And atherosclerosis is a hardening in the arteries. Why does the body harden? The body hardens secondary to deterioration. That is, secondary means following deterioration. The body hardens after deterioration. Hardening of the body is a repair mechanism. It's a way the body repairs itself. So when there's a lot of cuts and wounds in the arteries, calcium will get deposited. Calcium is the main hardening mineral in the body. So, and by the way, it's very interesting. We die by turning to stone. That's basically how the body dies. It turns to stone. It calcifies. It happens in the brain. It happens in the kidneys. It happens in the soft tissues. It happens all over. So the point is that the reason we have sclerosis is because of injury. The reason we have inflammation, and the reason we have inflammation is because of injury. The reason we have injury, this is very important what I'm going to say. Does this make sense? And I can't see anybody, so I don't know if you're understanding all this stuff, but the disease process, the aging process is generic. One of the features is hardening, sclerosis. It happens in various tissues of the body. The hardening is a repair mechanism. The repair it's not a great repair mechanism because it causes hardening. The body loses its fluidity, but nonetheless, it's part of the repair process, which follows inflammation, which follows injury. The question becomes, how do we get injured? Injury occurs in all diseases, and injury is present in all diseases from number one, the wrong stuff getting in, and number two, the right stuff not. That's how simple it is. That's how simple health is. And it doesn't matter if it's a hardening in multiple sclerosis or a hardening in arterial or atherosclerosis, or whether it's the secretion of toxic chemicals in fibromyalgia, whatever it is. It's the wrong stuff getting in and the right stuff not. Now, it gets a little bit tricky because you got to know what the wrong stuff, the right stuff is, but that's the principle. So we got a letter here from a gal. Is Dixie on the line? Dixie on the call? Dixie Hall?
I don't see her on at the moment, no.
Okay, so she asked, I don't even know, now that I mentioned her name, I probably shouldn't say, all her stuff here. I don't know if that's fair. So I guess I should say it. I'm not going to read it without Dixie for being present.
Right. She's not here at the moment.
I don't think that's fair. So in any case, I'll read this other one here, and I won't tell you who it is. And if they're on, they can say something. She says she started noticing she's more sensitive to sugar and BTT and osteo. She's experiencing a burning sensation in her feet, especially her big toe. She's sensitive to having more carbs. She used to be able to eat as much as she could. She's got numbness and tingling in her arms and hands. These are all classic signs of neuropathy, of blood sugar issues. So this is a woman that needs to be on the sweeties, but she says she started using the sweeties, 1 tablet and up to 2. And the reason I think this is important is because we have this idea in our head, and we have it as consumers, and sometimes we have it as business people, that you can just take a supplement and then your problem will go away. It's not how it works. The sweeties is very important. But if you're dealing with blood sugar issues as significant as this woman is, you got to have a whole range of health strategies and protocols that you're applying. Sweeties is very important. But you also have to make sure that you're not putting the carbs into your body as much as you were, or I should say the refined carbs into your body as much as you were. And that's the key. And in fact, when it comes to healing all health challenges, like I just got done telling you about the generic nature of health challenges, when it comes to all health challenges, just like there's a generic nature to the cause, that is the wrong stuff getting in and the right stuff getting out. Does that make sense, Rebecca? You can be my proxy for everybody. Okay?
That makes total sense.
Wrong
That's
stuff.
why I love hosting you, Ben, because you make sense.
Okay. Just like the process is generic, the disease process is generic, the repair process is generic, the fixing process is generic. And I'm going to now give you the fixing process for all health challenges, all of them. Does that make sense that it's all generic? The body breaks down generically. We have all these brand names, but they're all brand names for a few basic biochemical dysfunctions: hardening, inflammation following injury, increased secretion of fluids. There's all these basic things that underlie all health challenges. In fact, if you really want to boil it down, it's always injury and inflammation. That's what all health challenges involve: injury and inflammation. So how do we deal with it? So these are the 3 points that you have to address for all health challenges. And I'm guaranteeing you 100%, not 99, not 99 point, 100% that if you follow these 3 protocols, whatever your health challenge is, whatever it is, you will begin to feel better. And that should be your marker. Whether you feel better and ultimately whether you feel good. But whether you feel better at first and then ultimately good. Number 1, always work on digestive health. You guys are probably so sick of hearing me say this, but I cannot be a healthcare professional, and you can't be in the healthcare business. Everybody listening who's in the business, or if you're a patient, you can't address any health challenges without going to the digestive system first. I've gone into the reasons why, why the digestive system breaks down a lot. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you what to do. The first thing, and this is under ideal circumstances, it's not an absolute must, but this is really what you want to do: fast. What happens when you fast is, number 1, your body cleans itself out. It's the best detox there is a fast. When you stop putting food in your body, in your digestive system, it starts to clean. And that happens, as I said at the beginning, between meals. It happens between assaults. And eating, believe it or not, is to the body anyways, an assault. Your immune system and your inflammatory system spark up. They wake up when you eat lettuce, when you eat a salad, when you eat anything, let alone processed food and Snickers bars and cereals and all the things we tend to eat. Any kind of food will make the immune system awake. When you fast, everything calms down. The body cleans itself out like a self-cleaning dishwasher. I have a Vitamix, and in the Vitamix it says if you want to clean the Vitamix, you don't put anything in it. You just put water in there and let it clean itself out. That's how the digestive system cleans itself out, without putting anything in the system. Now, some people don't like to fast. Okay, if you don't want to fast, don't, but you really should. Because the second thing that happens when you fast is your body becomes more sensitive when you start assaulting it again. So if you're allergic to food, you're not going to notice it unless you clean the deck. If you eat the same food over and over and over again, and then you have an allergic reaction or a toxic reaction or some kind of reaction, you're not going to notice it. But if you stop eating for a day, or 2 days, and then you eat the same food, all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, I don't feel so good. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, I'm a little gassy. You start to notice these symptoms you never noticed before. So fasting makes you more sensitive to your symptoms. And number two, fasting acts like a self-cleaning dishwasher. The process, by the way, is called autophagy or autophagy. And this is the process of self-cleaning that the body undergoes when it fasts. If you have any liver problems, by the way, fatty liver disease, this is an ideal way to burn fat, is with to clean out the liver, especially if you're on prescription drugs. Secondly, remember, it's the wrong stuff in and the wrong stuff in and the right stuff not in. There's nutrients you can take for the digestive system. Probiotics, obviously number one. We have a great product called the Daily Digest, which is not only probiotics, but it's got other nutrients in there that help the digestive system. And there's a new product that came out called the Ultimate Microbiome, which is another great digestive health product. Then there's the classic Ultimate Enzymes, which are amazing, not just for the digestive system, but also for pain and inflammation. So you get kind of like, I love multifunctionality. You get a lot of multifunctionality with the digestive enzymes. So you're supporting your immunity in multiple ways. The immune system as an anti-inflammatory, and the immune system supports the immune system as an anti-inflammatory, and also for digestive health. And the digestive system and the immune system are like two peas in a pod. Then, with your Ultimate Enzymes, use apple cider vinegar with your Ultimate Enzymes. The apple cider or noni juice. You're doing, Javi Price noni juice. I wonder if we have an aloe. Do we have an aloe that I'm thinking of, Rebecca? I know we got
We have Aloe Plus.
Liquid?
Yes, it's a liquid.
There you go. Aloe Plus or noni. Acid in the aloe. And aloe's got nutrients specific for the intestine too, by the way. So if you have an intestinal problem, just drinking straight aloe vera juice can be very calming and very soothing. It's very healing too. Aloe is amazing stuff. If you look at the aloe plant, it looks like a crown when it's growing out of the ground. And that's very appropriate because it is the king of botanicals when it comes to healing the body. Amazing, amazing stuff. But in terms of the digestive enzymes, the acid in the aloe or the noni will activate the Ultimate Enzyme. So you want to take those together. And then if you want to throw in a few other things, get yourself on lecithin granules, Lecithin. Lecithin granules can be helpful. Gelatin, like the gel caps, the Ultimate EFA gel caps, that can help, or straight gelatin can also help. There's a great amino acid that's found in the Fit Shake and in pretty much in all whey protein products called glutamine. Glutamine is like fuel for your cells of your intestine, wonderful for all intestinal health issues. Work on the digestive system. You have 7 ways from Sunday in order to work on the digestive system. There's all kinds of strategies to do it, and don't underestimate the power of fasting. Then you go to the blood sugar system. The blood sugar system is your energy system, and over time, our body's blood sugar system starts to get out of whack because we're all eating a lot of sugar, whether the sugar is potatoes or rice or cereal or bread or oatmeal, certainly fruits and candies and pies. All of these put a load on the sugar system. When the sugar system becomes loaded, the body stops listening to the chemistry that helps you metabolize sugar. Chemistry is, just to make it succinct and pithy, the chemistry we'll call insulin. That's the biochemical. The insulin system begins to lose sensitivity over time as you ingest more and more sugar over time. The blood system, the circulatory system, needs about a teaspoon of sugar at any given moment, teaspoon of sugar or so. We put in dozens of teaspoons in an average day of sugar, and over time, the body's sugar metabolizing system, the insulin system, stops listening. That's called insulin resistance. And it is always associated with aging and with chronic degenerative disease, all of it. Now, you can have insulin resistance without a chronic degenerative disease, but if you have a chronic degenerative disease like heart disease or autoimmunity or cancer or Parkinson's, treat yourself like a diabetic. Get on this. Well, first of all, reduce your intake of fast burning carbohydrates, especially. If you have to have sugar, you absolutely have to have sweets. Have a piece of fruit and suck on it like a candy, or kind of like let the sugar get into your system slowly. The sugar system is a little bit sluggish. It doesn't respond instantly So we don't know we've had too much sugar until we've eaten half that apple pie. So it takes a while for the sugar signaling to kick in. And that's why we overeat. You ever eat a bunch and you can eat it, and you can eat it, and you can eat it, and then at the end you reach a certain point, you're like, oh my God, I should not have eaten that much. That's because it takes a while for all of that stuff to kick in. So sucking on a piece of fruit slowly gives the sugar system a chance to catch up. Also, if you're eating, if you like potatoes or rice or bread, which are very high sugar foods, eat them very slowly. Let the bread or the rice kind of release its sugar into your mouth and give your blood sugar system time to catch up to that sugar. Also, while you're eating, if you're eating foods that spike your blood sugar, drink water. Water will dilute the blood sugar. It'll make your blood more liquidy, so the sugar concentration is not as high. And you can drink a lot of water after that's not an issue. In fact, if you drink a lot of water, you'll probably be full faster. So drink a lot of water after or during your intake of fast-burning carbs. Those are two tips right off the bat that you could do that will immediately start to straighten out your blood sugar system. Ideally, eliminating food entirely and fasting once again is a great way to reset the blood sugar system. The ketogenic diet is spectacular. Now, keep in mind, I'm not just talking about diabetics here. I'm talking about a generic protocol for all health challenges. You don't need to diagnose, and you don't need to treat, and you don't need to have a degree, a healthcare degree, and you don't need to study. You just need these 3 points: the digestive system, the blood sugar system. So continue on with the blood sugar system. The ketogenic diet is an awesome strategy for all chronic health challenges. It's the ideal way to eat, but we don't really, most of us anyway, maybe you guys hear me speak before, but most people don't really understand how to do the ketogenic diet. People think the ketogenic diet is let's go. Where'd it happen to everybody?
You're still here.
Okay.
You're still here.
The ketogenic diet is everybody knows, a high fat diet, right? Right, Rebecca?
Yes, but it gets done wrong too many times.
That's exactly right, Rebecca. It's done wrong because when we hear a high fat diet, everybody gets all excited. Yay, bacon and cheese and pizza and dairy and all the fun French fries and all the fun fatty foods that everybody likes. That's not what the ketogenic diet's about. The ketogenic diet is a high percentage of your calories coming from fat, not high fat, high percentage, and a low percentage of carbohydrates and a medium percentage coming from protein. The percentage part is key because the percentage relates to the amount of daily calories that you're supposed to intake. And the ketogenic diet is a low calorie diet. It's a 1,200 or less calorie a day diet. That means, yes, it's high fat, like 80% of your calories come from fat, but that means 960 calories of fat. That's like two slices of pizza, maybe. 960 calories coming from fat, and that's not all fat, that's sugar too. That's not a lot of fat compared to the amount of fat we're eating. So if you eat a 1,200 calorie diet, about 80% or so coming from fat, about maybe 15% from protein, 5 to 10% somewhere in there coming from carbs, which should be vegetable carbs. Best way to eat for chronic long-term degenerative disease and to stabilize blood sugar. Then, of course, there's the incredible nutritional supplements you could take to stabilize blood sugar. No matter what your health challenge is, Sweeties is not an option, in my opinion. Sweeties is not an option. It's not all you need, but you definitely need chromium and vanadium. Chromium is almost like a miracle. Vanadium is highly underappreciated. Chromium is good for so many different things in the body, and vanadium is, nobody even knows about vanadium. Dr. Wallach is one of the only guys I've heard in a big way talking about vanadium. These days, a little bit more people, but when it started, nobody was really talking about vanadium. Here's another one that's really important for blood sugar that nobody talks about. Niacin, the ultimate niacin, is not only a blood sugar stabilizing nutrient, it's a blood pressure stabilizing nutrient. It's an anti-cholesterol nutrient. It's great for helping the body burn fat at the level of the liver or the level of the blood. It's great for folks who are doing the ketogenic diet because it's part of something called NAD. Have you guys heard of NAD? Rebecca, have you heard of NAD? It's been in the news. Everybody's talking about NAD and NADH. People want injections. And there's these things on Facebook. I see these supplements, NAD, NADH. Guess what? That's niacin. The N stands for niacin. The niacin is part of this energy producing process, and niacin helps your body burn fat for energy and burn sugar for energy. In fact, the complex of molecules that is put together, that is combined to help your body handle sugar, is called the glucose tolerance factor, or the GTF. And the GTF is a group of molecules that are clumped together that help insulin work, that help the body process sugar. Well, guess what? The GTF is largely made up of chromium and niacin, those two nutrients. Chromium goes into making the GTF, and niacin goes into making the GTF. So niacin is an underappreciated blood sugar stabilizing nutrient with a whole wide range of benefits. And I'm in the skin business, and niacin is amazing for the skin. In fact, the disease caused by niacin deficiency is marked by rashes and dermatitis and sensitive skin. So when you're deficient in niacin, you're going to be more prone towards sensitive skin. And oh, by the way, for folks who get the niacin flush, get yourself on the ultimate EFAs. The niacin flush is partially related to deficiencies in essential fats. So you know I'm talking about the niacin flush, right, Rebecca? The
Absolutely.
People take the niacin flush, they get hot, they get tingly, they get itchy. So the niacin flush, if you're really prone towards that, that could be an indicator that you need EFAs. Get on the ultimate EFAs. Another very important and underappreciated nutrient for blood sugar is selenium. The ultimate selenium is part of producing insulin, is involved in insulin production. The MSM sulfur, which is in multiple products, including Beyond Tangy Tangerine, is also very important for the blood sugar system. And speaking of Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the electrolytes in Beyond Tangy Tangerine are also important for the blood sugar system in the sense that they give you energy. Electrolytes are one of the ways we get cellular energy, especially with potassium and magnesium and sodium. So all of this should be taken with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And there's MSM sulfur in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And then the last nutrient that, there are a lot of nutrients that are important, but the last one I want to talk about is magnesium. So get on the OsteoMag, and you'll notice that all of this is in the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. All of the things I talked about is in the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. So that's a great place to start. And keep in mind, people, you don't have to be a diabetic. And you don't even have to have a chronic long-term degenerative disease to suffer from or to benefit from the blood sugar pack. Handling blood sugar is key to longevity for healthy people. In fact, every study that's ever been done on longevity associates stable blood sugar with longer life. So even if you're not sick, and even if you're not a diabetic, the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack and all these other nutrients like selenium and niacin that we just talked about can also improve your health and your longevity regardless of your disease status. And then the third point, if you will, this is, by the way, what I call the triangle of disease. The third point to address is stress. And I don't just mean psychological stress. I mean physiologic stress as well as psychological stress. So working on the digestive system and working on the blood sugar system, that will help you with the stress response. So you're already, once you've gotten to the third point here, you already got you're 2/3 of the way. But then there's other things that you could do to support the body when it's under duress. From a non-supplemental perspective or non-food perspective, one of the most important things you could do to reduce the stress response is exercise. Yes, it seems counterintuitive, but the more you exercise is a stress on the body. The more you exercise, the better able your body is to handle stress. Exercise strengthens the body and improves the biochemistry so that it can handle stress. And it doesn't have to be an intense workout at the gym. It can be a walk around the block. You can, for some people, a great exercise is just standing up out of a seated position and then sitting back down really slowly. Do it once or twice or 3 times a day. Some people, it's just walking up and down the stairs a couple of times. Doesn't have to be a lot, but it makes the body stronger and more resilient so that it can handle stress from a structural as well as from a biochemical perspective. That, by the way, that whole thing is called hormesis. That idea of stress making you stronger is called hormesis. So it's not the stress that's the problem, it's the out of balance stress that most of us have. So blood sugar system, digestive system, moving the body to, in terms of exercise. These are great stress management systems, stress management strategies. Another one is slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. Slow, deep, rhythmic breathing puts the body in a position where it doesn't have to worry about its number one fear. The number one fear of the body is suffocation. When you slow, deep, rhythmically breathe, the body relaxes because it has enough abundant oxygen resources, and stress chemistry and stress hormones become reduced. It suppresses stress chemistry and stress hormone. Why are you laughing, young lady? What is so
I'm
funny?
not laughing.
Is it?
Sorry.
No, seriously, you're smiling nice and broad. That's good. I like it. You look very pretty when you smile.
It's not a niacin flash either.
It's just
Keep
your
going.
habit. All right. Then there's nutritional supplements for stress management. The B complex are your anti-stress vitamins. In my opinion, one of the reasons why the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is such an important and such a powerful and such a beneficial nutritional supplement for so many people is because you get a high dose of liquid B vitamins. The B vitamins are, we say in the business, water soluble. Vitamin C is water soluble. Electrolytes, potassium, sodium, magnesium, chloride, etc., are water soluble, which means they work best in liquid. They become activated by liquid. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine is a liquid. And by the way, this is why when people ask me about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets, I would say go with the powder, because you're activating the water-soluble nutrients with liquid. Now, if you take the tablets with water, a lot of water, you'll probably get activation in your digestive system. But the powder, you get it activated as you're drinking it, as you're ingesting it. So the B vitamins are water-soluble. Vitamin C is water-soluble, and that's also a very important part of the stress management system. Vitamin C is probably the adrenal gland's most important vitamin. Maybe the B vitamins too, but certainly a case could be made that vitamin C is the adrenal gland's most important vitamin. There's more vitamin C in the adrenal glands than there is any other part of your body. So clearly vitamin C is intimately involved in the stress response. Not only that, why are you smiling like that? You're throwing me off here, Rebecca. Are you reading comments?
I'm trying.
You're reading comments and smiling probably. So anyway,
Yes.
but here, check this out about vitamin C. Animals make their own vitamin C, right? Human beings don't make vitamin C, but cows make vitamin C, horses make vitamin C, birds make their own vitamin C, frogs, the whole animal kingdom makes their own vitamin C. And an animal will make 10 times as much vitamin C as when it's under stress than when it's calm. So vitamin C production is upregulated in animals when they're under stress. Why? Because vitamin C is an important stress management molecule. Vitamin C sucks up the excess energy that's produced under conditions of stress. Under conditions of stress, we burn. Biochemical burning is exactly the same as the burning in your fireplace, except it's small. The fireplace, it's big. In your body, the burning is very, 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 very tiny, but it's still burning. And that chemical reaction is called oxidation. The fire in your fireplace is oxidation, and the burning in your cells is oxidation. Oxidation is how the body gets its energy to do its work. The more stress you're under, the more oxidizing you're under because you got to have more energy. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. It puts out the fire that's associated with stress, the biochemical fire. And it's very difficult to get too much vitamin C. I would say it's impossible to get too much vitamin C. It can be injected directly into your blood. And of course, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is a great way to get your vitamin C. Yes, Rebecca.
So I've heard animals make their own vitamin C,
Yeah.
but we do not.
That's correct. Why?
That's my question for you.
Seems like a cruel joke.
It does.
We eat it more than anybody. And look at us. We don't have that vitamin C. Here's the interesting thing. There's 3 or 4 animals that don't make vitamin C, including humans. There's humans. All animals make vitamin C except for these 4 animals. Humans, gorillas, a certain kind of hamster. I forgot which kind it is. A certain type of hamster or a guinea pig. One of those little rodent animals. And then the fruit bat. Those are the 4 animals that don't make vitamin C. So what do you think the gorilla, the fruit bat, this little kind of rodent-y thing, and human beings have in common from an evolutionary biology perspective? I'll tell you. We ate a lot of fruit. Fruit bat, that's what it eats. It lives on fruit. Gorillas would eat a lot of fruit. So a hamster would eat a lot of fruit. And it's thought that human beings used to eat a lot of fruit back in the day, berries and small fruits. These berries and small fruits have high concentrations of vitamin C. And so the thinking is that we lost the ability to make vitamin C because we were getting so much through foods, much more than other animals. And that's just the theory. Nobody really knows definitively, but that is the theory of why we lost the ability to make this really important vitamin. And make no mistake about it, vitamin C is ridiculously valuable, especially for the skin if it's in the right form. And those of you guys who are using Truth Treatments know what I'm talking about. If vitamin C is in the right form, it can do dramatic things for your skin. So calming the body down, slow, deep breathing techniques, all the things you're doing for digestive health and for blood sugar health, and then the nutrients, the calming nutrients, vitamin C, the B complex, electrolytes. And when it comes to electrolytes, one of the most calming is magnesium. And magnesium you can get in your Osteomag, which is part, of course, of the Healthy Start Pack. I'm telling you now, let me do one more thing on meditation here, or on stress management. I want to talk about meditation real quick. Whatever it is, if you could figure out, if you're sick, if you have a health challenge, if you can figure out how to sit still and just observe your thoughts, as hard as it may be, and it is not easy to just sit there and observe your thoughts, you will go a long way towards lowering your cortisol, lowering the markers of health, of disease, especially when it comes to heart health, and improving your longevity. And all it takes is a minute. All it takes is 60 seconds a day. You can combine it with your breathing techniques and just watch your breath and just sit and watch 10 breaths or 15 breaths. I have an app on my phone called Breathing Zone. And this Breathing Zone app walks you through the breathing process. And it's a great app to have if you can't figure out the breathing thing on your own. It's a great app to have, and you can meditate while you're doing this Breathing Zone app. And I highly recommend anybody who's dealing with insomnia, problems with stress, cardiovascular health issues, autoimmune issues, movement disorders, pretty much anything, cancer, skin problems, to work on the relaxation system by getting this breathing app, practicing meditation, doing all the things we talked about with the stress management system. And I want to say one more thing after that: digestive health, blood sugar health. These 3 points, if you do all of these 3 points, I guarantee you with 100% certitude, you're going to begin to feel better and feel better very quickly. It doesn't take a long time. All right, did you have something? Is there something you want to say, or do we have questions?
We do have a couple people with questions with their hands up. So
Okay.
we only have 19 minutes left then, but I don't know about everybody else that's on this call, but I have learned so much over what he has gone through. And some of it is just, really solidifying what I already knew, but so much more. So if you've been given any type of condition that they use that auto word that's affecting the way that your body works, I think you just found out the answer.
Yeah.
On what you need to do.
I want to hear something really cool. Let me just say this real quick. When you eat food, I want to tell you, this whole food and autoimmune thing, you weren't saying autoimmune, I think, for a reason, right? Because you didn't want to say it.
You can say it. I don't know that I can.
I don't know. Of course you can. So here you go. Autoimmune, 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 autoimmune. Take that. Autoimmune.
Autoimmune.
Okay. So when you eat a food, people tell you they don't know what causes an autoimmune disease. I'm going to tell you what causes an autoimmune disease, okay? When you eat a food and it gets into your bloodstream because you have leaky gut, number one, or you're eating some kind of food that causes inflammation of the gut, and then that food leaks in, whether it's a peptide, like a piece of something from a protein like egg, or perhaps it's gluten, and it gets into the bloodstream, it initiates an immune reaction in the bloodstream. This immune reaction in the bloodstream is marked by something called CICs, circulating immune complexes, which are essentially globs of antigen, of bad guys that have gotten in. usually from protein, incompletely digested proteins like gluten or things from foods that were incompletely digested. I'll tell you what I mean, why that's important in a moment. It gets into the bloodstream. The body's immune cells circulate around this stuff, and they create these things called circulating immune complexes. And anybody who has rheumatoid arthritis knows that when they go to the rheumatologist or the neurologist, whoever they're going to, they test their blood for CICs, for circulating immune complexes. Well, where do the circulating immune complexes come from? From an angel that sprinkled circulating immune complexes on your head? No, they came in through the bloodstream, obviously through the digestive system, unless you're injecting things through the skin. And if you're injecting things through the skin, again, you can still have the same kind of reaction that causes autoimmunity and autoimmune diseases, and people who inject things through their skin, whether legally or illegally, go hand in hand. Illegal drugs as well as vaccines are both associated with autoimmunity. So once things get into the bloodstream, they create immune reactions in the blood. These immune complexes, these circulating immune complexes, deposit in the thyroid, deposit in the pancreas, deposit in the dermis, in the skin, deposit in various soft tissues of the body, and they look foreign, they look distorted. They kind of look like your skin, like your body, but not. And so the immune system attacks the thyroid, or the immune system attacks the pancreas, or the immune system attacks the dermis of the skin, or whatever the particular part of the body is that's distorted. But that doesn't matter. That's just an interesting kind of biochemical mechanism or biological mechanism. What matters is things got in through the digestive system and food was incompletely digested, which is why everybody who has an autoimmune disease knows that when they stop eating or when they fast, their symptoms resolve. It's hidden in plain sight. What does that tell you? And people know that when they eat certain foods, their symptom gets worse. Once again, you're looking at autoimmunity, you're looking at a digestive etiology, as we say in the business, which means cause. And it's super simple to resolve. Again, highlighting this whole theme of this hour that we've been talking is how super simple it is to solve the riddle of disease without medicine, without the medical model. Okay, go ahead. I hope that makes sense.
That makes total sense.
Yes.
Total sense. Well, let's try to fit in a few questions here. And Joanne, if you could raise your hand, that would be fabulous. Let's first go to Caroline. And Caroline is, I don't know if there's anybody that lives farther than her from me right now.
Where's
But
Caroline?
go ahead,
Hi.
Caroline.
Hello, Caroline.
I'm in Australia. Hi, how are you doing?
Caroline, where are you? Are you down under?
Yes, I am. I'm in Melbourne.
Let me ask you this. Do you say that when you talk about the United States, you say, are you up over?
No.
How do we say
In the US.
we're not up? You know, say, oh, he lives up over.
No, down under. I'm from the UK originally, so down under is a term that I had to get used to as well. So,
Welcome to
so
Up
thank
Over.
you. Thank you. I have a question just regarding my daughter is 11 years old and she has, I guess, acne, skin issues. She is, I'm sorry if I'm repeating, sorry. She has hit puberty and she actually had some pimples come up when she was 2 years old. We went to see a dermatologist and they said that she has acne then and that she would probably suffer with it later. And we did go through quite a few courses of antibiotics and everything.
No. First of all, does she have that same wonderful lean body type that you have?
Yes, she does.
Did you break out when you were a little girl?
Not when I was younger. No, later I did.
Okay, well, you're lucky then because your body type is designed to break out. I mean, not designed, but prone towards breakout, and that's where she's at. Okay. Now, the fact that she had it when she's a child is a major clue. Did you breastfeed?
I did.
Okay. So the fact that she had breakouts when she was a little kid, how old was she? Did you say 2?
2 years old. Yeah.
She wasn't breastfeeding, right?
Yeah. No.
She was not. She was weaned at that point.
Oh, yes, she was. Yeah, quite early on. Yeah.
So acne, true acne, is caused by 3 different things. Number 1, cells that are dividing really rapidly and squishing out their proteins. Number 2, lots of oil, skin oil. And number 3, bacteria. That's what causes true acne, those 3 elements. Cells that are dividing really rapidly and squishing out their protein, causing a plug. And then lots of oils being secreted, making the plug worse and oily, and also oily skin. And then bacteria that are trapped underneath these cells that are growing really fast. Those are the 3 elements of acne, and occurs in the T-zone. Okay, you know what the T-zone is, right? The T-zone. Okay, acne, so-called, it's not really acne, that appears on the cheek is a completely different element. Hers is in the T-zone, I imagine.
It is in the T-zone, but she does have on her cheeks as well.
That's not unusual. Okay, she's got 2 things going on. Number 1, she's hit puberty. She's built narrow like you. Is she an athlete or is she athletic? Okay, she's got all the signs. Those are all the signs, which is great. You know, the biochemical profile of an acne patient, true acne, T-zone acne, like your daughter, is very good. Strong body, dynamic, ambitious, athletic, really great qualities. You know what I'm saying, right? Type A, leaders, these are all the great qualities, but they also cause a stimulation of cells. They make things happen. They're anabolic, they're building. So the first thing you want to do for T-zone acne is you want to calm things down. Sugar will hype everything up. It will speed everything up. There's an overlap between sugar and the hormones of growth, testosterone specifically. There's an overlap between the 2. So this is going to go, and this is not a bad thing necessarily, but you can calm things down over here by reducing the sugar intake and replacing it with protein and fat. Almost like a ketogenic diet. You don't have to be as extreme as the ketogenic diet, but she's an athlete and she will benefit from protein and fat. She doesn't need the carbs. The carbs should be vegetable carbs. That alone will calm things down, and you'll notice that she's improving by the shine on her face. The shine will begin to subside. She will not be as oily. That's how you know you're on the right track. Okay? Is there any menstrual issues? Is she having her menstrual cycle yet?
She has, yeah. She started at 10.
Any menstrual issues?
No.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So the sugar thing, calm the sugar, calm everything down. The sweeties would help her. Get her on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, have her sipping on it, especially after she works out. Get on the Zinc FX, have her using the Zinc FX. Have her start taking maybe, how much does she weigh? You said 74? Is it pounds or kilos? Or
kilos. I don't know.
Give her 200 micrograms of the Ultimate Selenium. Give her 100 milligrams of the Ultimate Niacin. 1 pill of each. Okay, and then keep the sugar down. I'd also, you might want to add in the sweeties. 1 capsule after meals. And make sure you're focusing on protein, the Fit Shake maybe, whey protein, and Ultimate EFAs. Get her on the Ultimate EFAs as well. A couple of those a day and sipping Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Now, on those cheeks, point to your cheeks where she is. Where she? Okay. On her cheeks tells me that there's food issues. There's a lot of areas right here, right in the middle of your face. This is your T-zone, and that's where you have sebaceous glands. Those are your oil glands. Okay. So the skin, when you have true acne, it'll be T-zone acne. On the sides, actually from here to here, right, there's like a band of lymph. You know, lymph, have you heard that term, lymph?
Yeah.
Right? And so all breakouts here, and it doesn't have to be acne, it could be rosacea, which also occurs here, redness here, breakouts here, oiliness here, rashiness here, should always be regarded as a lymphatic issue, which typically is going to involve the digestive system. And the fact that she had breakouts before, listen to what I'm going to say, it's important, she was breaking out before she was T-zone breaking out at 2 years old. She didn't have true acne. She was breaking out here. That tells me there's been something going on in the digestive system for a while. There's been some digestive health, and I'm not a psychic. I'm not psychic, Ben. I'm pharmacist, Ben. And the reason I point that out is because these are syndromes. So once you start to see a picture, I can tell her about her menstrual cycle. I can tell her about her hair. I can tell her about her digestive health. I can tell her about all of these things about just by knowing a few biochemical facts about her body and about her symptoms, because these happen as a constellation. And this is called forensic biology, where you're actually doing forensics. You spot clues and you work backwards. So the fact that she had breakouts when she was 2 is a major clue. The fact that she has breakouts here now is a major clue. So boom, right in here tells you lymph, And unless she's IV drug user, obviously she's not, you're looking at food. And you're her mom, you know she's got food issues. You have to know she's got food issues, okay? Those need to be addressed. The good news is, once you address those, this condition will completely disappear. Completely, never to be seen again. Acne is a little bit different because it's not really a response to an assault, but you can still do dramatic things with the T-zone. But this can disappear immediately, or not immediately, it can begin to disappear immediately.
Okay, fantastic. Excellent. Thank you for the advice. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Caroline.
Is Caroline doing longevity? Awesome. Good deal. Did she say Melbourne? My friend in Melbourne is he sends me emails all the time griping about Melbourne.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try to get 3 more in, Ben, before we close out the night. David, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, David.
My son was just diagnosed today. He's 45 years old with macular degeneration.
Okay,
That's very early.
you want to talk about that? Is that
Yeah. Is there a diet or supplements that could help him?
oh, yeah. What's the most important word in the phrase macular degeneration?
Degeneration?
Bingo. It doesn't matter if it's macular. It doesn't matter where it is. It's degeneration. The body is breaking down. The body is designed to regenerate. So if you're degenerating, that means something's interfering with the regenerating. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's in the body's nature to regenerate. Now, the eyes are a unique case because they're subject to a lot of energy constantly from light, from the sun and from light. So they degenerate especially fast under conditions of duress. So for the eyes, that tells me that there's something pretty, at the age of 45, there's something pretty severe going on. That should not happen at the age of 45. Is he aware of how to take care of the body, or is he kind of not caring that much on that end of things?
He's pretty aware of being healthy.
Okay, so first of all, remember we just talked about the 3 points of breakdown: the digestive system, the blood sugar system, the stress system. Macular degeneration and diabetes go hand in hand, and you don't have to be a diabetic to officially be degenerating. You could be a pre-diabetic. You can be a non-diagnosed diabetic. You can just have blood sugar problems. So the first thing you're going to do is you want to work on the blood sugar system. Get them on the healthy blood sugar pack. All the blood sugar things. Secondly, the eyes are depend on pigments in order to protect themselves and to absorb sunlight or light. So making sure that you're getting enough pigments. The pigments go by the name lutein, zeaxanthine, astaxanthine. They have various names. Technically, they're called carotenoids. You just think of them as pigments, and there's other pigments too. So veggies are very important, but braise the veggies in butter so you can release those pigments. The pigments in your broccoli and your onions and your tomatoes, whatever it is you're eating, they're sticky. They stick to the food, and when you eat them, you don't always get the benefit of them. But if you prepare them or pre-process them by warming them up in butter, the pigments come out in the butter. Does that make sense? You understand? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and that's important for everybody, really, because the pigments are beneficial to all of us. So making sure he's getting the pigments. We have a pigment product called I think it's called Ultimate Youth, Rebecca. The pigment product with I forgot.
Is it HGH?
No, it's a
HGH
powder,
complex?
pigment powder. I think it's called the Ultimate Youth. Jonty, can you look that up? Jonty, the Ultimate Youth, I think, and it's a powder, pigment powder. So that's a good way to get pigments also. Well, I'll continue. Then there are nutrients that have electrical activity that can protect the eyes from the electrical activity that's associated with light. And these nutrients are found in the Vision FX and also in the Occutive. The Vision FX and Occutive. Vitamin C, selenium, and wouldn't hurt him to take extra selenium either. Taurine, the amino acid taurine, which is only found in meats if you're getting it from foods. There's NAC, N-acetylcysteine, NAC. These are all nutrients that can help the body suck up excess, or help the eyes suck up excess energy. So number one, you want to work on the digestive system. Number two, you want to make sure that you're using on the blood sugar system. Number two, you want to make sure you're using blood sugar nutrients. Number three, you want to make sure he's getting the pigments. And number four, you want to be using all of the eye nutrients, the specific eye nutrients that you'll find in Vision FX and the Ocutip. And I would encourage you to take this very seriously, or him to take it very seriously, because that's something that happens when you're 65, not when you're 45.
Right.
Okay, and that's a sign that things are breaking down at an accelerated pace. Okay,
Okay,
David.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, David. Let's move on to Gary. Gary, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Ben.
Gary, what's up, buddy?
Hi, Jessica.
I don't know if Jessica's on, but hi, Gary.
I met Rebecca. Okay. Well, I've talked to Dr. Wallaco about 4 times already, face to face in a Zoom meeting. I was diagnosed with a blood clot last year, actually September 30th. Anyway, I'm following exactly what Dr. Wallach told me, and I feel great. So I wanted to tell you that everything is working. I'm taking the Beyond Tangy, Tangerine, the Osteo FX, the Flucoid Z, the niacin, the vitamin B, vitamin B D2.
What's the issue, Gary? Tell me what the issue is.
Nothing. I just want to tell you what I have, what I'm taking. Now, one thing though, I am taking zinc, and I wanted to know, can I overdose on zinc? I'm taking.
An overdose on zinc. You don't want to take more than 60 milligrams or so.
That's what I thought.
If you get into 100 milligrams, it's not going to kill you or anything. I mean, if you took ridiculous amounts, maybe, but if you get 100 milligrams, 120 milligrams, interestingly, you start to get symptoms of not having enough zinc. The symptoms of too much zinc are basically breakouts. That's the biggest symptom: acne, maybe hair loss. So there's skin problems. The big thing you'll notice if you take too much zinc. So you don't want to take too much zinc.
Okay, but I'm taking the D2 and the vitamin C, the niacin,
Ultimate EFA.
the Ultimate EFA, the MSM.
For you, you're doing great. Alec knows the stuff. You're in good hands.
Yeah, wait, I'm trying to think what else. I think that's it.
For you.
Okay, so the zinc, it's only what, 50 milligrams one time a day or something?
50 milligrams a day is exactly what you want.
Okay.
A day is exactly what you want.
Because there is a sheet here, and it says this is a recommended daily intake of vitamins and minerals, and it was from one of the websites over here.
Is that the government putting that out? They probably say that's the RDA. I think that the RDA of zinc is like 6.25 milligrams or something.
All right, well, let me see here.
Okay.
Zinc is not on here, but I mean, a whole bunch of other stuff is. That's why I asked you about zinc. I can't find zinc on here for some reason. Anyway,
10 milligrams.
like selenium, it says here, does larger doses larger than 200, is it IUG can be toxic?
Ben?
I can't comment on stupidity. That's crazy.
Well, let's go a little bit beyond stupidity and go a little more into educating the difference between organic and inorganic
No,
selenium.
you don't want to go there, Rebecca. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of our minerals are inorganic. The ultimate selenium is inorganic. I'm sorry, it's not a plant derived. I see where you're working here, Rebecca, but not all some of our the plant derived minerals are non-toxic. And that is an important point. I was actually going to talk about that today. That was going to be my topic until we had the questions, and it's a very important topic. Plant derived minerals. This is what you're getting at here, Rebecca. Plant derived minerals are not toxic. Period. You can take all the plant-derived zinc you want. You take all the plant-derived chromium, all the plant-derived selenium you want, and it's completely non-toxic. Plants have a way of taking the toxicity out of metals, out of minerals, which are metals, metallic. So when you're using your plant-derived minerals, you don't have to worry about it. But a lot of our products, Rebecca, are not plant-derived, like the selenium. So the thinking on selenium is, and this is what I think Gary was pointing out, or was mentioning, is that you look at the forms, these RDA, things on the internet, and they have very low thresholds of nutrients. And I'll tell you why they have very low thresholds of nutrients. Because and this is so important, If you guys don't learn anything else from this, what I'm about to say, this is worth the price of admission, which of course is free, but that doesn't matter. It would still be worth the price of admission, even if it costs a lot of money. When it comes to these RDAs, the RDAs are based on prevention of disease, not on maximum optimal health. The medical model is interested in eliminating disease, not in keeping people healthy. And this is a major, major distinction that nobody ever addresses. Thank God we have a medical model that can save our lives when we have a death-threatening or a life-threatening injury. We're going to die. They'll keep you alive. And the RDAs are meant to keep you alive. But we human beings deserve more nutrition than just being alive. We deserve to thrive, not to just be alive. The medical model, and I'm not, that's great that they keep you alive, but you know what? They would just as soon have you this far from being dead as long as you're alive. That's why we have chemotherapy. We have treatments where they just keep you alive. They'll put you on an iron lung for the rest of your life just to keep you alive. They just want to keep you alive. You're not going to die on my watch, basically, is how it is. They'll keep you alive. But they're not designed to have you thrive. They're not designed to have you have maximum health. So the RDAs are there to keep you from dying. The minimum, all it takes, they're not there to keep you thriving. In order to keep you thriving, you have to have lots of nutrition. You want to saturate your body with nutrition. In biochemistry, there's a phenomenon called driving. If you ever look at a chemical reaction, if you remember your high school chemistry, do you remember your high school chemistry, Rebecca?
I do.
Do you remember it? Good. If anybody remembers their high school chemistry, you'll see that there's a thing called a chemical reaction, an equation, which tells you what's happening, where A goes to B, right? That's a chemical reaction. You remember that? Where A goes to B? Remember that? And there's an arrow. Remember that, Rebecca? Yes? It goes A.
I do remember that.
It says A, and then there's an arrow that goes to B, right? But there's also an arrow that goes from B to A. And what makes something a chemical reaction, a effective chemical reaction, is if A is going to B faster than B is going to A. Okay, that's what makes a chemical reaction. But here's the point. They're both happening. This is happening and this is happening, but hopefully this is happening more. But they're both happening. So our job, if we want to make B, whether B is muscle protein or whether B is a heart cells or whether B is more collagen for your skin or whether B is more neural connections, if we want to make things happen to B, we've got to push the chemical reaction this way. So it's not coming back this way. This way is building, this way is breaking down. We want things building, not breaking down. They're always happening. They're both happening. But we want them building more than they're breaking down. Are you with me? Is it making sense? You want them faster this way. Rebecca, yes? Makes sense, right? You want
Yes, makes sense to me. I see other heads going up and down too. So that's good.
Let me tell you where I've been going with this. There's a way to assure that A goes to B faster than B goes to A. You know what that is? It's called driving the chemical reaction. That's what we call it, driving it. And the way you drive a chemical reaction, the way you encourage the chemical reaction to go this way and not this way, is by loading this side with raw materials. By putting lots of the A's here. The more A's you have, the more likely it is to go this way rather than this way. Which makes common sense because everything's looking for equilibrium. Everything's looking for balance. So if you have a lot here and less here, the reaction is going to go this way. If you have a lot here and the reaction and less here, the reaction is going to go that way. So you want to preload it with the precursors, with the raw materials. Guess what the raw materials and the precursors are? Nutrition. The more nutrition you have here, the faster and more effectively the reaction is going to go this way. Does that make sense? Rebecca, does that make sense?
Makes sense.
The nutrients are so important, and that's why lots of them are so important. Not calories, nutrition. And so you want to saturate your body with nutrients because the more you have here, the more assurance you're going to have of going this way. There's a couple nutrients that are stored and they're very reactive that you want to be careful with, like zinc, like selenium, like copper in their inorganic form, not their plant-derived form, but in their inorganic form. So you want to be careful with those. But for the vast majority of nutrients, you want to load them up on this side. So you force the chemistry that way. The RDAs do not take this into account. The RDAs are just there to keep you from dying. If you're happy just not dying, great, follow the RDAs. But if you want to have lots of this, lots of stuff being built, pound the nutrition. And don't pay any attention to the RDAs, which, by the way, stand, as far as I'm concerned, for the ridiculous deficiency allowance.
Okay. Is my mic still on?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. Am I getting enough zinc with all the other things I'm taking from Dr. Wall?
I'd have to see everything you're taking. It's hard.
Oh,
For
all
you
right.
can add it up. Just add them all up yourself.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to, yeah.
Well, have anybody else with questions? And
Yes.
Gary, your name
Thank
is
you.
Gary.
Where are you from, Gary?
Oh, Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, nice. I know it well.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
All right, I'll be back.
Thank you.
Oh, you want to look at my black hair, see if it's coming in again?
Yeah, it is coming in.
It's getting darker.
It's getting darker. Nice job.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you. Bye.
Joanne,
Hi.
come join me here in the Pacific Northwest.
Hey, Joanne.
Yes,
Question.
I do. I had a recent blood work that showed something I've never heard of in my life, meaning I have high SHBG levels.
Oh my goodness.
That was news to me. I mean, I'm 71. I don't take any prescription medications. I hate big pharma, can't stand it, want to do things naturally. Rebecca has helped me so much. And well, I just so believe in critical health news and all of that. So thank you for your knowledge today that I've already learned. But what kind of hormone is that and what do I do about it?
what it was?
SHBG.
Yes, it's sex hormone binding globulin. It's not a hormone, really. It's a protein.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's involved sex hormones, but it's not uncommon as we get older for that to happen. It's usually associated with liver issues.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar? Do you have anything with the liver that you know about?
Well, no, other than my naturopath, who sadly I'm trying to find a new one because she moved away. She had mentioned that I should go on something called SLF Forte, which I understand is some sort of liver support thing.
That's a brand name for something, and I'm not really sure what that's about.
Yeah, exactly.
It also can have to do with testosterone issues, which are very common as you get older. Did they talk to you about testosterone?
Yeah, that was more mentioned. Yeah.
So it's the two big things that come to mind with elevated sex hormone binding globulin are number one, liver issues, and number two, either too low or too high. But in your case, I would say too low because that's very common. Did they put you on testosterone?
Yes.
Okay, so get on the Zerofem. Get on the Zinc FX, and then get on the Ultimate EFAs. If you're not on the Ultimate EFAs, and by the way, everybody out there should be on Ultimate EFAs no matter what your health challenges, but especially as we get older, and especially if you're having issues with your hormones, testosterone. And
Okay.
Are you on estrogen at all?
No, I had a total hysterectomy in 1990.
And they didn't put you on estrogen?
I did for a while, but I've been off of it now for many, many years. I'd say I've been off of it for 30 years.
Okay, so are you noticing that you're, as they say, your get up and go has got up and gone?
Oh no, my get up and go is still good.
That's good then I wouldn't worry too much about elevated SHBG because it's usually a testosterone issue and a liver issue, but you look great. Your skin looks
Thank you.
like you have lots of energy. So I don't know necessarily I would worry about it. I would worry about it too much. But if you want to do something, you should be on the Ultimate EFAs no matter what.
Okay.
Critical for anti-aging. Critical. And you're looking great. You want to stay looking great.
Thank you. I plan on being around for the grandbabies and my son in Colorado.
Yeah, we're in Colorado.
He is in Denver,
Oh, nice.
but
Well,
I spent lots of years at Estes Park by Longs Peak at a cabin up off of Fish Lake Road and wonderful Colorado memories.
Very, very nice. Tell your son to come to my talk on Saturday.
I am going to do it. And actually, he was the one who first turned me on to you guys about 2 years ago. So it was because of him that I found Critical Health News. So
What's his name?
Dasher.
Nasher.
Yeah.
I like that. Sounds very
And
Christmas.
it's not because of a reindeer.
So I'll definitely remember Dasher, and to tell him if he comes, I will give him something to give to you.
All right. Thank you.
That and keep up the good work. You look beautiful, really beautiful.
All right. And I appreciate again all that you guys do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Oma
Thanks,
Jo-
Joanne.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Well, Ben, that's all the hands that we had.
That's good. That was
The outpour of questions that came in after sending the mailer talking about this just is unreal. So if we did not get to your question today, we will have one of our health coaches consulting with pharmacist Ben and getting those questions answered.
Yeah, and you know what else,
So-
Rebecca? The people out there, if you want to learn how to help people, because this is not rocket science. Once you understand a few basics about how the body works, you don't need a freaking degree to understand how all this is. How to understand how to help your neighbor, help your loved ones, help yourself, help strangers, help friends. If that sounds intriguing to you, this is a great business opportunity. This is an awesome business opportunity. Not only will you learn about health, not only will you help people with their health and with their nutrition, but you can make money. And Rebecca knows all about network marketing. She's a network marketing savant. So you would be in amazing hands if you sign up under Rebecca. And of course, if you sign under Rebecca, I'll be involved too, and I can help you build your business as well.
Yeah, but Ben, I have to say, if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, get back with them. They cared enough to take the time to share this program with you.
Good point. Good point.
So we have so many amazing individuals in longevity that have such an interest and heart for health. Many of them are certified holistic health coaches, which we do have that program available to people who aren't even distributors within longevity. So that's just something that's available for general knowledge. If anybody's interested more in that and you receive the email invitation to this, you can go ahead and reply back to that email information requesting more information about that. We'll make sure that we get it to you because this is an amazing business. And when you start feeling well, it just shines through and people are going to ask you, what are you doing? I want what you've got.
Why don't you give my talk a plug for this Saturday?
Yes. So this Saturday, and I'm pretty sure, John T, are you putting a mailer out about this? Oh, he's looking at
No,
Ben. Did you forget to tell John T that you
the
were
first
doing
time I've heard of it.
I forgot to tell Jonty. Put out. Oh,
Well, I'll invite 60,000 people if you let me know. So,
that's how big our list is 60,000 people.
roundabout.
It's a healthy list there, Jonty. Listen, can you put one out like today or tomorrow? It's on the some longevity page. I don't know which one it is.
Okay, I can look it up on there. Let me just make a note of that.
We'll find it, and I've got my best gal on it too. We'll find that information and share it on Facebook.
Everybody who attends will get a free longevity product, probably Beyond Tang and Tangerina until we run out of it. And then also, if Dasher attends, Joy Oma, I'll send one home with him for you.
Fantastic.
All
Awesome.
right.
So, Ben, where in Colorado is your event?
One at Broomfield, Colorado, zip 80020, and the address is 11640 Teller Street, 11640 Teller Street, Broomfield, Colorado, 80020. It's in my pharmacy, but in the same facility as my pharmacy and my skincare company. And it's not just me. I'm going to be talking about how to build a business using nutritional supplements and how to simplify the nutritional supplement sale. Dr. Taylor Mitchell is going to be talking about mental health. And then my favorite is Farmer Glenn, who had stage 4 stomach cancer and wasn't supposed to live past January or February. is looking awesome, and he used nutritional supplements and just a touch of the modern medical model to get rid of it, it seems like completely eliminate his cancer, because he looks awesome. And he's going to talk about beating cancer with nutrition. So hopefully anybody in the Colorado area, or even if you're not in the Colorado area, you can come to my lab, 11640 Teller Street, Broomfield, 80020, 11 o'clock this Saturday. I think it's the 29th. 29th? The 25th. What is it?
25th.
25th of June 2022, for those of you listening in the future.
Yes. And is that going to be Zoom televised?
I don't know about Zoom, but I think we'll be Facebook. I'm not sure. That's a little
Okay. Maybe a Facebook Live. I'll
Yeah.
see what,
I have the
yeah,
kids.
I'll see what Taylor's put together, and we'll make sure that the information gets out to our Facebook friends as well.
All right. Well, bye everybody. Nice to see
All
you.
right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on Q&A with Pharmacist Ben and myself, Becca Dix. I do hope that you did gain some information, and with that information, please be empowered to share it with somebody else. Now that you have that information, you can't keep it to yourself, folks.
That's right. Can't hide your light under a bushel. Bye, John.
That's right.
Bye, Rebecca. Bye, Dr. Reynolds. Bye,
So
everybody.
everybody, be blessed, be empowered, and we will see you next month on Q&A with Pharmacist Ben. Watch for the information that shares when, and it's going to be the same link, but the date and time. This week, it's been crazy because people are starting to get together again. I absolutely love it. So you can watch for more live presentations going on also. And if you are interested in getting something going in your area, make sure that you get with the person that invited you to this program, and we'll help you get this information shared. So everybody, bye for now. On behalf of myself, Becca Dukes, my co-host, John T. McCollier, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Heather Bowen, Dr. Judy Reynolds, and Lance Lemons. Bye for now. Sorry, Lance.